One huge step that you may be missing within your design process is asking the right questions to your clients. If you ask the wrong questions or don't ask enough questions, it can lead to a very, very sticky design process. So if you're unsure in this, and if you are a designer, you are in the right place. So my name's Abby, I am a brand designer from the UK, and today I'm going to be giving you an insight into all of the questions that I ask my clients throughout the process. So before we get any further in, stop what you're doing. In my design shop, if you haven't checked it out already, there is a free downloadable client questionnaire, which includes a ton of questions that I ask my clients throughout the process. In this video, I'm going to be sharing the main questions that I ask, but in that document, there may be a few cheeky extra questions. So if you want to check it out, make sure you click the link in my description. So there are 2 stages within this questionnaire. Stage 1 is the strategy stage. Stage 2 is the creative direction. Having both these stages, which you will need, will really help with the design process, and there'll be no second guessing you or your client and no questions unanswered. A little bit more into my process. So once my client is booked in, I then send them this in-depth questionnaire, so questions that I haven't already asked them, to really get to know their business in more detail. Once they have filled this questionnaire out, I then schedule a call with them to go through all of the answers and to really dive deeper into the strategy side and to get to know them and their business. So let's start with stage 1, the strategy section. So this section can really help with understanding your client's business, getting to know their audience, how the business was formed, what their offerings are, etc. Number 1, ask what does your business do and what is your product or service. This might seem really, really simple, but to have it clearly written down so that you can understand it, you can actually then take this and write it in really simple form so that their audience can really understand what the business does. 2, is there a unique story behind the business and the name, and how was the business actually formed? So having a knowledge into the background of the business can really help with the design stage, because you might find an icon or something within the logo that might fit well with the history of their business. 3, what are your business goals? So having a clear understanding of exactly what the business wants to achieve can help us as designers to help them achieve their goals through design. For example, if one of their goals was to have a consistent brand for audience recognition, we can ensure we can do that through design. 4, who are your ideal audience? Think about income, age, personality, etc., and what are their frustrations. Knowing this means we can design with a well-defined audience in mind and know who the business is wanting to attract. 5, who are your top 3 competitors? So having an understanding of what is already out there, what is being done right, what is being done wrong, can really help with the design process. I like to do my own research too to see if there are any other competitors that may be well suited for the brand. 6, what does the process look like for your audience? So by putting this into really simple steps like how they find you, how they buy, and how they receive, can make it really, really simple for your audience and for us as designers when designing and marketing your business. I'm going to leave this as the last one for this section. There are lots more within that document on my website, but these are just my top 7 that I like to use. So this one is, what words would you use to describe your brand's personality? This can really help with knowing the vibe of the brand as well as the design stage, as you'll start getting a feel for what their business encompasses. Now for stage 2, the creative direction questions. So this is all about the visual of the brand and what the client is really envisioning. 1, do you have a vision and desired look for your brand? So it's really great to know exactly what the client is envisioning so we can really help guide and steer them with the best possible option. Remember that the components that they may want within their brand may be a personal preference, and it is our job as a designer to make sure we are making it timeless and designing with intent. 2, what do you actually like about your Pinterest board? So I get my clients to create a Pinterest board or a mood board full of fonts, imagery, and a whole vibe of what they envision their brand to be. It is super important to make sure that they are picking individual bits out of their Pinterest board and letting you know exactly what they like and what they dislike. 3, what words would you use to describe the desired look of your brand? So using specific words to describe their brand may help with comparing it to the Pinterest board. Some clients can get confused with what they actually want when putting the mood board together, as some people just aren't visual people, which is why it's great to collect some similar describing words about the desired visual of the brand. 4. If you have an existing brand identity, why isn't it working? This one is really great because they can pick out specifics of what they don't like, what hasn't worked for them, and what the actual goal of the rebrand is. So this is the last one for this section, which has actually bit me in the bum before because I didn't ask this specific question. And it is, are there any icons or symbols that you are connected with that you want to use throughout your brand? So this one is a really good question to ask because there may be a symbol that your client definitely does not want to include within their brand that you weren't aware of. So it stops you designing something that they initially didn't want, which saves us time as a designer. So these are just some of the design questions that I ask my clients throughout the process, and it is good to know that I am constantly trying to come up with new ideas and new questions to really help support my client. So if there are any more questions that aren't on the list or within that document to get your freebie, then make sure you put them in the comments so other people can steal the questions, because sharing is definitely caring. Something that has helped me with that continual learning and upping my game for clients is using Skillshare. So Skillshare is an online learning community for creators just like us. And something I've been diving more into is brand strategy, as this can really help the design stage in so many ways. So I've taken the class Brand Strategy, Build a Business That Lasts by Mark Pollard, which has been super helpful with understanding the right questions to ask. So therefore, I have teamed up with Skillshare to give the first 1,000 of my subscribers a 30-day free trial to try out as many classes as you want. Make sure you click the link in my description to get the free trial and let me know which classes you end up taking. So I hope this video has given you a better insight into some of the questions that you should be asking your clients. If you aren't asking enough questions, then there's going to be unanswered questions which will make the design process really, really sticky. So if you want the full document with all of the questions that I ask my clients, make sure to head over to my design shop for that freebie. There may also be some other freebies on there if you check it out. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you at the next video.
Let's stop acting like it's so good.